Today we delve into two of the most powerful women in comics, Invisible Woman from Marvel and Wonder Woman from DC Comics. Sue Storm Richards is an incredibly powerful heroine with the ability to turn herself and those around her invisible at will. After undergoing genetic mutation, she became a founding member of the first superhero team on Earth, the Fantastic Four, and took on the role of the group's responsible mother figure. On the other hand, Wonder Woman is a demigoddess born to Amazon Queen Hippolyta and the god Zeus on Mount Olympus. Diana of Themyscira is an unstoppable powerhouse. With extraordinary strength, she is respected by allies and other heroes alike, being considered one of DC's supreme heroes alongside Shazam, Superman, and Martian Manhunter. It is said that she possesses divine abilities granted by the gods themselves, and Diana can unleash her divine form when she removes her bracelets. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us a lot. Thank you very much. The Fantastic Four launched into space with initial success, but terrible cosmic rays pierced through the ship's shielding, irradiating the entire crew and forcing them to return to Earth quickly. Upon landing, they realized their bodies had mutated, transforming them into superhumans with extraordinary powers. Sue became the Invisible Woman, and the quartet, with their new abilities, chose to dedicate their powers to superheroics and scientific exploration, forming the Fantastic Four. A confrontation with Psycho Man had a profound impact on her. As you can see, Wonder Woman has quick reflexes, capable of dodging and restraining Supergirl in both the New 52 and Rebirth era. Supergirl is on par with her cousin, Superman. Diana has even made Superman bleed in most of their encounters and can undoubtedly go toe-to-toe with him. The Green Lanterns can easily create supernova explosions using the power of their rings, and Diana inadvertently destroyed one of them. So she is consistently depicted as having strength on par with Kryptonian. Although she may not have as many remarkable feats as Superman, she can definitely hold her own against him in battle. She once made Darkseid lose an eye with just her sword. It's safe to say that this weapon significantly amplifies her offensive power, as despite Darkseid being stronger, she managed to injure him with that divine blade. Additionally, she can block his Omega beams with her bracelets and survive his devastating attacks, showing that she can at least be compared to Darkseid on a lower level. One of her most impressive feats is when she was reborn and officially took down the Phantom Stranger. Likewise, Sue Richards has the ability to make herself completely or partially invisible at will, and she can even make others or surrounding objects disappear and turn invisible, affecting an area up to 40,000 cubic feet. She accomplishes these feats without creating any visible distortions. The average retina detects objects through reflected light, but Sue's retina can extrapolate shapes based on reflected cosmic rays. Her vision can become monochromatic when she is in her invisible state, as her eyes do not reflect light, allowing her to see the internal structures of machinery or the internal organs of living creatures and humans. Invisible Woman can project and manipulate near indestructible invisible force fields, making her an incredibly powerful and effective combatant. She can also create and manipulate multiple psionic force fields simultaneously, even shaping them into tangible structures for attacks, ranging from tiny bullets to structures with a diameter of up to 100 feet. This ability allows her to generate force fields large enough to cover a 20-story building, including the 10-acre foundation below it, or create an invisible scaffold strong enough to support a building as tall as the Empire State Building. These capabilities demonstrate her immense power, but it's noteworthy that she is also very intelligent, although not necessarily surpassing Wonder Woman, who is also considered highly intelligent. Invisible Woman can create explosions, but remember that Wonder Woman is an Amazon warrior, and she once imprisoned the Phantom Stranger, a being as powerful as Spectre and Dr. Fate. Diana can also restrain the Superman of the Gods of Strength, who was activated by the Pit of Apocalypse. She can also block debris from gods flying in from all directions. In battle, she reacts quickly to Supergirl and Superman. Superman has defeated missiles, flown billions of light years, and the shock waves from his punches can shake the entire universe. But can that be enough to defeat Invisible Woman based solely on heightened senses? This might make a bigger difference than you think. Invisible Woman can create force fields, but they can only cover small areas, like the size of a swimming pool. So what can she do to win? She could attack by suffocating her enemy while invisible, but Wonder Woman doesn't need air to survive. What Wonder Woman can do is create powerful explosions. Psycho Man and his robot Hate Monger used emotional manipulation technology to transform Sue, also known as Invisible Girl, into Malice, the Mistress of Hate. However, with Reed's help, she overcame this transformation and used Psycho Man's technology against him. That experience inspired Sue to take the name Invisible Woman. Victor Von Doom, also known as Dr. Doom, is the most dangerous enemy of the Fantastic Four. He has repeatedly clashed with the F due to his own villainous schemes. Meanwhile, Diana was drawn into a conflict with Batman over the fate of a young woman named Danielle Wellies. Wellies begged Diana for protection, leading her to confront Batman. Despite protecting a wanted murderer, Wonder Woman refused to follow the laws of the world she fights to protect, instead choosing to fight for the ideals of her own world. Wonder Woman, with her deep understanding of her own power, is a slightly weaker but still formidable version of Thor. In terms of speed, she is faster than a bullet depending on the weapon and ammunition used, Mach 3 or 0.64 miles second, but slower than lightning, Mach 352 or 75 miles second. What makes this fight different from others is that Thor cannot simply use lightning to finish off Wonder Woman. This battle is full of rage. But defeating Invisible Woman is certainly not an easy task given her considerable combat experience. While many conflicts take place outside, at the Baxter Building, Invisible Girl defended gossip columnist actress Miriam Birchwood, and other guests from a sudden attack by one of Doom's spy drones. After Sue destroyed the drone, she became entangled in a cosmic conflict known as the Infinity War, where she had to confront and absorb her evil counterpart, Malice, from the Dimension of Manifestations due to the dark ego of Adam Warlock Magus. This was a gradual resurgence of Malice within Sue, but Franklin, temporarily transformed into the teenage hero PSI Lord, played a key role. Shortly thereafter, the entire Fantastic Four team seemingly perished in battle against the psychic entity Onslaught, but they actually survived in secret within a new parallel world, Counter-Earth, instinctively created by Franklin. After many dangerous adventures in this alternate reality, they eventually returned to their world. Upon their return, the FF befriended Valeria Von Doom, also known as Marvel Girl, from Earth 9903, an alternate future where Valeria believes she was the daughter of Sue and a benevolent incarnation of Dr. Doom. Sue's invisibility powers led her into a challenging conflict with the planet-devouring entity Galactus. Because her powers could bypass a device designed by Galactus's enemies, led by Zeus, they kidnapped her. To rescue Sue, Reed used the device to swap powers between Johnny and Sue, and they teamed up with cosmic hero Wendell Vaughn, also known as Quasar, to defeat Galactus. In the end, Johnny and Sue regained their original powers, but Sue also gained new respect for Johnny's dangerous control over fire. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman, with her remarkable combat intelligence, can overcome or deflect any attack from her opponents. Wonder Woman has endured countless battles lasting longer than those of Captain Marvel. So all she needs to do is withstand a few photon blasts from Captain Marvel until they weaken significantly, then bind Captain Marvel with the lasso of Hestia, and with a decisive sword strike, seal the fate of Carol Danvers. While Captain Marvel's cosmic powers may be immense, the true warrior in this battle is Diana of Themyscira, an unstoppable force. Sue and Johnny join the Secret Avengers, an underground team of rebels opposing the Superhuman Registration Act, led by Steve Rogers, aka Captain America. However, this alliance didn't last long. Meanwhile, Black Panther and Storm replaced them in the Fantastic Four, while Sue and Reed enjoyed a second honeymoon on Titan, Saturn's moon. However, their romantic getaway was interrupted when old foes, the Frightful Four and Claw, launched a surprise attack. With the help of the heroic members of the Fantastic Four, the villains were swiftly defeated. Shortly after, Sue and Reed returned to their Fantastic Four duties. Eventually, Sue reconciled with her old rival Alyssa, and the two women teamed up to transport refugees from Danube to the artificial Earth, New World. Meanwhile, Danube was killed by a vengeful Dr. Doom after she had used him as a pawn in her schemes. Before embarking on her mission, Diana was granted the Lasso of Truth, a divine rope forged by the god Hephaestus himself. She was also gifted the Sandals of Hermes, allowing her to cover vast distances in seconds. Diana's mission was to bring peace, but from the start, she faced a mad plot by Ares to destroy the world. Diana decided to begin her journey in Boston, where she met Harvard professor Dr. Julia Capitelis, her daughter Vanessa Capitelis, and Air Force officers Steve Trevor and Etta Candy. Diana stayed with Julia and Vanessa for about a month. She was attacked by Decay, one of Ares' minions, right in her own home. The fierce battle quickly spread across the streets of Boston, and it was at that moment that Diana uncovered Ares' malevolent plan, a plot that threatened global nuclear catastrophe. With strength and resilience, Diana overcame Ares' terrifying children, Phobos and Deimos, before ultimately convincing the god of war of his error through the lasso. After a resounding victory over Ares, Diana returned home, seeking healing from the powerful hands of Poseidon. However, in a showdown with Superman, Sue Storm's invisibility became ineffective. Superman's super senses made her position impossible to hide. While her power could exert immense pressure, Superman had repeatedly proven that he could endure the weight of stars and even nuclear explosions. Her force fields, though they could provide temporary protection, could not stop Superman, who had easily shattered structures created by Green Lantern when truly determined. This time, Invisible Woman had entered a battle beyond her capabilities. Essentially, she has physical skill, psychological endurance, and the drive to keep fighting to the death if necessary. These are all traits that Wonder Woman possesses, and the reason why most warriors don't stand a chance against her. However, Wonder Woman also has the strength and endurance to go toe-to-toe with Superman. Simply put, things could go either way. But still, it's better to say, oh yes, Wonder Woman wins this one easily. What do you think? We want to know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. That's today's video. We'll stop here. Thank you all.